Hello, and welcome to Sanditon Fancast. We're your hosts. I'm Michelle. I live in the States. You can find me at Musings on Instagram and Twitter.
I'm Rita. I live in England. I'm at Annoying Rita on Instagram and Twitter.
And welcome to our bonus podcast. We got so many funny and insightful emails. Thank you guys for reaching out. So without further ado, let's delve on into the goodness.
Okay, so first, Postcard said, "Hello ladies, just discovered your podcast a couple of months ago. Love it. Listened to your most recent one on my drive home from work today. Needed to go backwards because 70 plus minutes to listen." That's a long ass drive.
Yeah.
You had me belly laughing about fucking ITV. I too am committed to watching one episode per week. Rough with all the spoilers out there. Yeah, don't go online, people. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Love the arc of the Duke and Arthur having already met. Makes sense with Arthur, said Montrose is in debt from father. How did he know that? No one else did. The avoidance is a good catch. The woman with the 5 kids. I'm getting a little women vibe. Beth, Scarlet Fever, etc. Mary gets sick. I fucking hope not. I don't we don't need another storyline.
Yeah.
Would younger Montrose run off with Ralph? Oh, Lydia? Ooh, kinda Green Acres theme. Long shot. Long for Hayborn snogging. Looking forward to the next podcast. We'll try to send in thoughts earlier now that you ladies are back. Thanks for allowing me to ramble, and this is Robin from Boston.
Oh, thank you, Robin.
Stay safe on the road, Robin.
Yeah. Hello, ladies, and greetings from Cyprus. Wow. If you're wondering how this show, and by extent this podcast, has reached me in this small island, the story is actually very simple. As a true nerd of Jane Austen's works, my algorithm did its magic back in 2019 and introduced me to the series. I instantly fell in love with Rose's Charlotte and haven't fallen out of it since. Fast forward to 2023, a week before PBS released the new season, I was searching for the Sanditon soundtrack on Spotify when I happened upon your lovely voices, and I have to say it was the perfect distraction for those insufferably long last few days. I especially found it funny listening to you both boarding a ship I knew was going to sink.
We don't talk about that.
Of course, I'm talking about Charles.
No, we don't talk about that.
Yes. Now, to this episode 2 rambling. I love Charlotte's journey in this episode. It is clear the moment Ralph is removed from her, she seems to reclaim the aspects of her character she was withholding. She's back to being outspoken, strong-willed, and ready to fight for her friends. We see that when she encourages Georgiana to raise awareness of her situation by writing to the press and then persuades her to join the recital, show those gossips you're unbowed. And when she comforts Lady Susan after she learns the king dumped her, he may be the king, but if he were here, I would tell him, I think him foolish beyond measure. And just as Lady Susan says, I too believe she would.
Oh, totally.
Yes. And then there's the Hayborn part of it all. These two cannot hide their love for each other to save their lives. In 2 of the 4 scenes we see of them together, there is some form of a literal fire in between, no subtle symbolism there. And they're both subtle. Equally important to the relationship. First, the pickup of the very glove she was wearing when he held her hand at the soldiers' camp, right before he destroyed everything, reminded me of Persuasion's he could not forgive her, but he could not be unfeeling. Then I think they miss your presence, to which she replies, do they? Whilst looking directly into his eyes, because now she knows his usage of the girls to project what he's feeling.
He did that a lot throughout this episode.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
It was like,
and finally, the hand touch scene that came to eradicate every hand touching scene that ever existed before it.
Pride and Prejudice says otherwise, but thank you.
Cut their faces, and you can still see Charlotte's reluctance and hesitation and simultaneously her inability to control her emotions only by the movement of her hand, along with his initiation and the very fitting song, "Either give me back my darling or at least let me die." That scene left a mark. On to some other characters. Alexander Colborne. This man can make staring sexy. I swear there's a radar for Charlotte's face somewhere in his system. Loved his Darcy Colonel Brandon-ish moment when he abruptly leaves for London to help his girl's loved one. And of course, the "surely you must know, it was all for you" look he gives at the Trafalgar House. Georgiana, her crying when watching the singer perform was very different from Charlotte's. For her, there was an impact, a hidden, "if she can do it, why can't I?" And I cannot wait for the next episode. Arthur, he and the Duke, and their own little enemies to lovers. I ship it already.
Yeah.
Samuel Colborne. He's been here for only one episode, and it's obvious that he will be fun. I liked that after his grilling of Georgiana, he apologized and knelt down, acknowledging her position and allowing the dignity he had just wounded to be restored. And of course, the moment he boarded the Hayborn ship with Xander's big oopsie in his cheeky, "I was referring to Miss Lamb."
What's he know?
Yeah, I love that he calls him Xander.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
So cute.
Augusta. It was a nice step forward when she asked Edward if he thinks her a fool and then proceeded to mansplain the word piteous. But alas, teenagers will be teenagers, and boy, are we in trouble. Lady D and her one-liners never disappoint. "Don't flatter me, it makes me suspicious." And
that was my favorite line.
"If you expire, I'll have you removed discreetly." Oh, God, I love her. Mr. Price. He seems a misogynist. Yeah, a little
Of course
bit.
he is.
Just a little bit. And then finally, Lady Susan. Evidently, she will play a much bigger role this season. She hit a bullseye that Georgiana's situation is an excuse for Charlotte not to return to Willingdon. And her introduction to Samuel by the end of the episode leads me to believe that we just found Charlotte's future sister-in-law. Or am I just reading too much into it?
Oh, impossible to tell right now.
Yeah.
You never know.
That is all from me. It was nice writing you since there's no one close to me who watches or even is aware of the existence of this show, and I needed to share my love of it, my love for it with someone. Best wishes to you both, KK. Thank you, KK.
Thank you. That was a great email.
Wonderful.
Okay. Hello, most gracious podcast hosts. That's the first time I've been called gracious.
Oh my goodness, my head is getting big.
The second episode of season 3 is setting up all kinds of intrigue for our Sanditon Denzians. We have a new character again, uncle/brother Samuel Colborne. Isn't it convenient that Xander has a brother that's a lawyer who has nothing else to do but run out to Sanditon for a few days? The real intrigue here, though, is what happened between these two and why are there so many boots in the study at Hayrick Park? I was thinking the same thing. Arthur and the Duke are really cute together, enjoying their shenanigans. Question. The costume that the Duke wears when the singer arrives, what was that? And does he travel with those clothes everywhere? I guess you never know when you need your Cyrano de Bergerac outfit. Lady D and Rolly. I love that she's called Rolly. Rolly.
Rolly.
Fun to watch too, but they can't build on the fishermen's houses. Lots of drama in that corner.
Mm-hmm.
Augusta and he who shall not be named. Painful to watch. Could do without the storyline. Except Augusta is delightful. I really hope she burns and does not get burnt. I would love that.
Yes,
destroy him.
Me too.
Anyway.
Me too.
And of course, the central ship, Hayborn, the finger sex, sizzle sizzle. At first I thought we might be shipping Samuel and Georgiana, but I think we landed on Samuel and Lady Susan. Your episode 1 podcast was a hoot. Rita trying to figure out the timeline. thanks for trying, but there's no resolving it. And he will give us headaches. I really did try.
You did.
Favourite costume? The singer's dress when she performed. Favourite scene? Although it was painful. Samuel grilling Georgiana. So much to explore here. We almost don't need any other storylines. I felt that way too.
Yeah.
We do have to question what happened to the sugar boycott. Not sure I trust the writers to handle this. On a side note, I watched Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris last night. It just made me smile. Such a sweet movie. I was surprised and excited to see our lovely Rose Williams. Her character is the antithesis of Charlotte, though. It would be fun if you guys did a podcast about this movie. It's not your usual period drama, but it is a period drama. Just saying. Look forward to your recap of episode 2. Then I will watch episode 3. Trying to be good. Your most faithful fan, Carol from Connecticut.
Oh, thanks, Carol.
Thanks. Miss Harris Goes to Paris. Seen the trailer. Looked funny. Then just forgot it existed.
Well, might have to rectify that. I did a quick search on the Order of the Garter, and it is the most noble Order of the Garter is an order of chivalry founded by Edward III of England in 1348. It is the most senior order of knighthood in the British honour system, outranked in precedence only by the Victoria Cross and the George Cross. The Order of the Garter is dedicated to the image and arms of St. George, England's patron saint.
They do like a whole parade in this silly outfit on St. George's Day. It's so elite. Somebody has to die before, like, a spot opens up. Like, they can't just, like, create more.
They just can't add another.
No. Oh, God, there's so many... I Googled the images, and it's just so many people in silly outfits. Oh, my God. Tony Blair, what are you doing?
In silly, fluffy, hatted outfits. But,
I think the hat is Tudor. When I look at it, I'm like, it's the flat cap with the silly feather. That is definitely Tudor. And then they've got the cape, which is giving medieval. And then they've got this silly chain thing. And then the bows. I don't know who decided it needed more flounce.
It needs a zhuzh.
Well.
Anyway.
This country is very silly sometimes.
Okay, onward. Dear Rita and Michelle, hello, lovely ladies. I just love your podcast and am so glad season 3 of Sanditon is finally here. Like you, I am also watching the episode a week at a time. I love getting historical context from you both and understand the frustrations with timelines and geography in these historical shows that we all like to watch. I was wondering if there is a reason why they now refer to Lady Susan as Lady de Clermont in season 3. Does it have something to do with the Prince Regent becoming the next king?
I think they're just trying to distinguish her from Lady Susan of the novella Lady Susan from this other character, because she's now resembling nothing like Lady Susan from the Jane Austen novel.
Okay.
I remember when we watched, I can't remember what they called it, Love and Friendship?
Vaguely.
We did watch it, but it was during lockdown. It had Kate Beckinsale as Lady Susan, and she was...
Oh, yes, right.
That's supposedly the same character, and it's just...
Okay.
It's not. It's not the... I think they're trying to create a different person for her by calling her Lady de Clermont, because that's not her name in the book. Okay. Anyway, but it's confusing.
Let's see. I laughed so hard seeing the ridiculous Duke outfit Lord Montrose wore to impress Miss Greenhorn. Do you think Miss Greenhorn, excuse me. Do you think Miss Greenhorn could be Georgiana's mom? Possible.
Gosh. Just every black woman we see.
Yes. Georgiana was moved to tears by her performance, and there might be something there. Arthur is now a musical impresario, i.e. glorified party planner. It's great that he's found his passion. I like the storyline developing with Georgiana and Lord Montrose, and along with Arthur, maybe they could all three live their lives happily together.
Weird
Augusta
threesome.
and Edward. Some people on Twitter has shipped this couple as Ogward. Ogward!
Oh, God.
It is both funny and perfect. I was both swooning and cringing when Mr. Colburn and Charlotte's hands were almost touching, about to hold hands. I liked the handing back the gloves scene and with the two of them, but that scene with them seated together and hands almost touching was a little too cliche for me. Point in Rita's corner.
Thanks. I'm just
Yes.
so thankful somebody else felt it so I don't get the hate.
Thanks, and can't wait to watch the next episode. Your loyal listener, Maria from LA.
Thanks, Maria, for agreeing with me. It is cliche. Hi, Michelle and Rita. I'm sorry I missed writing last week, but I'm so glad you've returned. Episode 2 can only be summed up with one word. Wow. They really packed in the stories and have a lot of movement going on. If you had named the episode, it should have been There is No Such Thing as a Foregone Conclusion. I'll get my one negative thing out of the way. Can we trust Edward? I think not. No. Never trust a man that drugs people.
Yeah.
It's illegal for a reason. Anyway, his first scene in this episode was him raking leaves. Was he raking leaves or was he just looking at them? Oh, what a metaphor. As Leo said, oh, him again. That was amazing.
I love
so
it.
will she. Leo has amazing instincts, by the way.
Yeah, she does.
There were so many good storylines. The highlights for me were Lady Susan's fall from grace. When she started getting teary, so did I. Harry and Arthur definitely having a vibe, and I'm so here for it. And it was nice to see someone helping Arthur for a change. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yes.
Someone was like, I see you, Arthur. Mm-hmm. I see how hard you're working, and I support you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Georgiana's strength. What a performance by Crystal. She conveyed so many emotions in this episode. Stunning work. I adore Uncle Samuel already. Great interactions with Leo and Xander. Excited to see where they will take him. Last but certainly not least, Charlotte and Xander. Wow, their chemistry is undeniable. The moment when they were in the entrance of the house talking, when he said the girls missed her profoundly, you could see the emotion on her face, but also you got the sense that Charlotte understood he meant to include himself in that sentiment. Mm-hmm. I mean, if she didn't get it at that point, I mean, it's pretty obvious. And of course, the recital. Such beautiful cinematography. I'd love a poster of the shot of the beach during the recital.
Yeah,
the main event was not the singing, but the hands of Charlotte and Xander. As soon as I saw that scene, only one word came to mind: magical. You could feel the love, hope, desire, but also the sadness. And the shot of Charlotte crying and Xander surprised at the end when she pulled away, just wow. If romantic film and TV production folks are smart, they'll study this scene for years to come. What Rose and Ben created in this one scene is an extraordinarily magical moment in time. I'm excited for episode 3 next week, and I can't wait to see our Xander become a social butterfly with his shooting party. I'm so excited! All the best, Eve from Hawaii.
Oh, thanks, Eve. Let's see. I am obsessed with all things Sanditon and found your podcast, and I love it. Your podcasts are so fun and lively. I am enjoying them. They make me laugh. I also enjoyed Poldark, and I'm looking forward to listening to those as well. I gave up on the last 2 seasons of Poldark.
I wish we had sometimes. The amount of emotional distress we went through.
Yeah. I did binge watch Sanditon season 3 only because I had to get PBS Passport to binge watch season 1 and 2. I wish that they did like an 8-episode season instead of 6 because I want to spend more time with the characters. I haven't seen The Sound of Music in years and rewatched after y'all said that Colburn and Charlotte romance was taken from that movie, and you are exactly correct.
I am always right, yes.
All the men look gorgeous in their waistcoats, even Tom Parker and Edward. Yeah.
Damn it, Edward looks good. Damn it, Edward.
Yeah. I will keep listening your podcast even after episode 6 because y'all are great. I will catch some of the Bridgerton episodes as well. I liked the first season, but did not like the second. Delia from Austin, Texas. Thanks, Delia.
How dare you say that about season 2? I'm joking, Delia. You can have your own opinions. Hi, ladies. I'm also watching 1 episode a week, and it's so hard. I don't know how you always do it. Well, we have to make a podcast in between, so it's pretty time-consuming. Gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the episode, but it felt so quick and so much happened. First, I'm glad that Lydia and Colborne didn't go horse riding. Forcing a story with them would be a little too much for my heart. I suffer enough with Charlotte being terrible with Ralph. Being terrible. However, I like Lydia more, especially after her interactions with Leo. Who do we think Lydia's going to end up with? Because she's lovely. She needs a boyfriend. Who are we going to set her up with?
I mean, could be Samuel, but I don't know how they would get together.
Yeah, I feel like they would be good together, but then I think Samuel's more interested in Lady Susan.
Yeah.
Could we set her up with Ralph? Like, how do we ship her off to Willington? She's like, do you like farming? I've got a friend.
Oh, well,
anyway.
She likes horseback riding, and I'm guessing that Ralph's got some horses, maybe.
Okay,
anyway.
But back to the email. I also really enjoy watching Charlotte and Georgiana. It's just so sweet seeing them arrive to Colborne's house holding hands. Oh,
yes.
It was cute. Now I just hate what they're doing with Augusta and Edward. Why is he still in this season? Why is he flirting with a teenager? Didn't we have enough plot lines? I think the actor's great, but I'd easily send him away and bring Esther back. Rich!
Yes.
Arthur and the Duke are so cute. I want them to be a couple so bad. But how's that going to be possible? Crying emoji. Don't think about that. Just focus on the positives.
Yes.
Delude yourself like I did with with Charles.
Yes.
And Georgiana. Let's live in the delusion. Lastly, and super random, as a professional violinist, I appreciate the show so much for hiring real musicians to act as musicians. So satisfying to see the violinist holding the violin correctly at the end during the concert. Thank you for this amazing podcast. I look forward to listening to you guys every week. And this is from Karen from California.
Oh, thanks,
Thank you, Karen. And as you were talking about the violinist, I was flashing back to that clip of Bridgerton with that man pretending to play the violin, and it's like his bow is like 5 foot in the air. He's obviously trying not to make any noises. And there's a real huge close-up of him, and it made it into the final edit of the show.
Oh, God.
You would think someone would notice.
Oh, yeah. You'd think. Okay, subject line. I'm North American. Sanditon, dazzle me with your pomp. I'm ready. This season is making me smile. Arthur and the Duke. If they do not continue on the trajectory of a possible romance between them at this point, it's going to break my heart. Their moments together were great, and they would just be so lovely together. Delightful!
We're all on board this ship.
Yes. If you need more evidence on why Arthur is just the best, in the middle of his heartbreak over the king not coming to his recital, the first words out of his mouth on the beach to Lord Harry are, "Poor Lady de Clement, what a beautiful and kind soul he is. Harry, You couldn't do better. Nab him, right now." The American, in quotes, singer. Now, that there is another adult black woman in Sanditon of the age to possibly be Georgiana's mother. Can you enjoy Mrs. Wheatley a little more?
Yes.
Yes.
I relaxed a little. I was like, oh, there's two of them now.
Yes.
It could be either one.
Yeah. If she had come on stage wearing a shell necklace, her fate would have been sealed. If she is still in Sanditon next episode, my money is on her. Also, I loved her.
Yeah.
Speaking of the singer, she's American, supposedly? She did not sound even remotely American. Is she just a British actor doing a poor attempt at an American accent? Or is there more to her story?
I really hope the plot twist is that she's actually her mother and that she's putting on a fake American accent, because that would make me forgive this accent.
Yes.
But if it turns out that this is just...
I mean, you figured that her mother, was in Antigua, so she would have an accent. So...
But would it be American, is the question.
I don't think so.
Where does the American accent come from? Other questions that I'm now going to think about for the next week. You would think she would sound more like Georgiana. Confusingly, I know that a lot of, the reason the Jamaican accent exists is because they were stationed with a lot of Irish people.
Okay.
So when we get into accents, it becomes all a bit, oh my god, squishy. It's a head fuck.
Yeah, it is.
I'm not sure that we are really smart enough to broach the phonetic sounds of Antiguan accents in the
looking at the wrong
1800s.
People here. Mm-hmm.
Which people are screaming at us like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, onward. Brother Colborne arrives. He seems like a happy-go-lucky kind of fellow. I wonder what his story is. He could be a nice foil over Sirius Alexander. I liked him. But the brothers, I'm so confused. These brothers seem to be pretty chummy for dudes that haven't spoken in 10 years, right? I mean, Leo didn't even know she had an uncle. Yeah. So clearly they haven't spoken in the last decade.
But
and yet the brothers were sitting together, chilling in the sitting room like BFFs after about 3 seconds. What?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This whole relationship is confusing.
Yes.
Why haven't they spoken?
Maybe we'll find out. I hope we'll find out. I guess we'll find out.
Will we? We might not find out.
We might not find out. Yeah, we might not find out. Okay. Or is it just the Colborne men have a superpower, and every season a new one spawns himself out of nowhere? Last year it was Alexander, this year Samuel. If we had 10 more seasons of Sanditon, there would be a dozen Colborne brothers that we'd never heard of before, just showing up in town for the sake of the plot.
I wouldn't be mad about it. They're all very handsome.
Yeah. I love it. Lydia is great. Her sense of humor is really wonderful. Do you suppose that her previous beau is going to show up? Her mother said last week that she needed to find a suitable husband this time. Will the mystery man arrive to take her away? There aren't any other single men left in Sanditon for her except Reverend Hankins, and that's a hard pass. Just no.
I don't think... Do we need another character at this point? My head will explode.
Yeah. Mother Montrose, it took me all this time to figure out, is Miss Galindo from Cranford. It was driving me nuts.
She definitely has one of those faces of people I've seen in 20 different shows. I just went, at this point, English TV shows, you will have seen half the cast before. Yeah.
Miss Hankins won my respect and affection last year when she saw Esther's pain and tried to help her conceive, and she just becomes better in every scene. What a nice person she is. I want good things for her.
She needs to stop helping Edward, though. That man is... I get that he danced with her last year, but come on.
Hell yes. A hotel to displace the fishermen? Well, now, suddenly Mary's visit to her old maid in Old Town makes sense. It was a bit of an eye roll. I guess a battle is coming here between evil capitalism and the plucky downtrodden, with Mary and Tom's relationship being the collateral damage. Lastly, I was hard on Colborne and Charlotte's romance last week, mostly because I hated how they were treating Ralph, and have no desire to watch them waffle around each other all season. This week, they were better, and I may have to retract my snark against them if this progress continues. I still don't want it to take another 4 episodes for them to get over themselves. But
Same.
This was definitely Alexander Colborne's Mr. Darcy moment, running off to find someone to save the beloved sister of his true love. Georgiana and Charlotte aren't really sisters, but it's close enough. Very satisfying episode. I'm very much enjoying this season so far. Tara. Addendum. I've had a few days to think about Arthur and Harry's situations. I'm obsessed with them. I think because this type of relationship in this society is just loaded, which makes it interesting, and I just love the 2 characters so far. Here's my fear. I think Harry is going to fall in love with Arthur, how can he not, and vice versa. But Arthur is not a liar, and untruths stress him out. Harry is going to have to marry at some point to have an heir, so he and Arthur could only ever be together in secret, living a lie. This will affect Arthur's conscience badly. I think Arthur won't be able to handle this life of untruth, and out of love for him, Harry will walk away by the end of the season to protect Arthur from it. Or worse, end up with Georgiana. Please no. And that will crush Arthur too. I'm going to enjoy every moment of them, but am preparing for the inevitable heartbreak. Sad face emoji.
Thanks for bumming me out, Tara. That was cool. They haven't even got together. We're already mourning their loss.
I know.
Let me have this. Okay. Well, I think the overarching theme this episode is flirting. Flirting everywhere. Arthur and Lord Montrose, Lady Denham and Rowley, Edward and Augusta, Beatrice and Dr. Fuchs, Samuel and Susan. That was confusing because I was like, Lady Susan to you. Alexander and Charlotte. It's a Love Island in period costume. Does America have Love Island yet, or is it?
I think so.
Oh, good.
I've never watched it.
Oh my god, it's certain seasons of it absolutely the best thing on TV, and other times the worst. It's simultaneously the best and worst of our society. Anyway, Charlotte and Alexander, they could use some Love Island time, by the way. Please, watching them is a bit exhausting. I know. He lights up when he sees her, but blames it on the girls missing her. Then eavesdrops on her conversation, speeds off to London. By the way, how far is London on horseback? He's back within the day. Then produces his brother, who is conveniently a lawyer. It would seem that Alexander's plan to redeem himself in Charlotte's mind with Samuel representing Georgiana may just work. Sounds like a plan, Scooby-Doo. As for the other couples, Beatrice and Dr. Fuchs, so cute. That's all, except we must save Beatrice from her brother. Beatrice, run towards Dr. Fuchs. Arthur and Lord Montrose, it's destiny. How can you not love him, especially in the Lord's outfit with the feather? Lady Susan and Samuel, just starting, but hopefully a good match. Susan needs to be cheered up. Edward and Augusta. Lots of banter. She's keeping him on his toes, but meeting in secret, I'm not sure about this. I don't know. What emoji is that? Like, shocked emoji?
It looks
blushing emoji? Anyway, I'm feeling a bit uncomfortable. What do you say about leopards in their spots? Lady Denham and Rowley, my favourite couple of all. Laughed out loud twice this episode because of them. When Tom tells Rowley that Lady Denham is hard to please, he says, challenge accepted. Basically saying, here, hold my beer.
Yeah.
Don't flatter me. It makes me suspicious. I may need to use this lie myself. Lady Denham is a gem. She's taking over from Esther. Let's see how next episode rolls. And this is from Maria in Perth. Ciao, Maria.
Ciao, Maria. Okay, Michelle and Rita. I was a Poldark Fancast listener, so when I found your Sanditon podcast this week, I was beyond thrilled. I wound up rewatching seasons 1 and 2 to go along with your fabulous podcasts. The rapport you have with each other is what makes your podcast so special. And I have to mention that the ending song is always spot on.
I am a genius.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
With a gigantic ego.
Though I think there are way too many romantic subplots in season 3, and it should have 8 episodes, not 6, I'm still thoroughly enjoying it. I just hope we get a happy ending. I'm glad they brought back Lady Susan, and the infamous Samuel Colborne is a great addition. Infamous?
I loved when he called himself infamous. I was like, can you say that about yourself?
I can't wait to hear your take on episode 2's hand-touching scene. Since all things somehow circle back to Poldark, it reminded me of the stalking scene. Oh, you ladies are great. Thanks, Anne from Alexandria, Virginia. P.S. Do you know if PBS has edited out some scenes like they did with Poldark? And if you want to see complete episodes, you have to buy the DVD? I don't know.
Imagine, didn't they always have the full version online?
Yeah, they did.
I'm watching it, obviously, online.
If you're watching it on PBS Masterpiece, you're getting the full episode. If you're watching it online.
Yeah.
Not the broadcast, but watching it online.
They are like 56-minute long episodes, so I imagine they are editing them as they go out on TV, just because they tend to do that, don't they? Mm-hmm. I say that as if I've ever watched PBS, but,
Well, we will know for sure as soon as ITV gets off their ass and starts to air these things.
ITV were editing the episodes, though, as they were airing them. Mm-hmm. They edited them for broadcast for season 2, which was pissing me off. I was like, why are you doing, you're showing it 4 months after it aired, and you're editing them. Damn it, ITV. I think we might never know. We might never know, Michelle, unless we buy the DVDs, which I'm not willing to do because I don't own DVDs anymore.
I don't know.
We are really not helpful. People ask us questions. We're like,
Well, and that's it for our postcards. Thank you all so much. Those are great.
Oh my God, it's already been 40 minutes. I hope that this splitting them off thing works. I think so. ? Should we keep doing this? This is like a good format. Anyway.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought.
Yeah.
Let's talk about episode 3. I'm really excited. The description reads as follows. The day of Georgiana's trial arrives, and she gets a surprise visit from an old friend. Ooh. Colborne's shooting party goes ahead, and as he gets closer to Lydia, Charlotte must confront what she's lost. She's gonna be jelly. She's gonna be jelly. Yes.
Oh, God.
What we need is more people being jealous, because we already don't have that enough. What are you looking forward to? I mean, you sound like you're in pain, so nothing?
I am in pain. I don't want Colborne to get close to Lydia at all.
I think it's Colborne. He doesn't get close to anyone. I think he's just going to be polite.
In proximity?
He's going to be standing next to her. And that's...
Okay. Well, I will hope that is all it is, but we just don't need him to start thinking about somebody else, because no.
We don't have time for that nonsense. We need you married.
Charlotte can't get her heart broken again. She can't.
But she's in no position to talk, though, Mrs. Engaged Lady.
That's true.
She's needs to sort out her own business first.
Yeah.
Before she can start getting jealous, is what I feel. How
about you? What are you looking forward to?
The trial. I
love a good trial.
I just love the drama of a trial, where it's like someone comes in dramatically and gives a last minute witness testimony that changes the whole narrative. Like, that's how I feel we're going to go down.
The pounding fist on the table. Objection, Your Honor. Or isimida, as they say in Korea.
Wait, what movie is it where it's like, You're out of order. This whole court is out of order.
Oh, I know what movie you're talking about. But yeah.
Does it have Kevin Costner in it? I don't know. I feel like. Who do you think the surprise visitor is?
I don't know.
Because I'm like, old friend. She doesn't have any friends. This sounds really mean. I guess, like, the only person...
Please God, not Otis.
Oh my God, do you think we're getting Otis? I'm sorry, like, but Otis, he is, like, I know he's not a bad person, but she almost, like, died. There was drugging, there was abduction, there was what rape, and then most inevitably murder. And
yes,
if we have like what if he like comes back, saves the day, gets her fortune back? Are we supposed to forgive him? Because I don't know that I can ever forgive a man.
No,
I don't know, man.
His shenanigans are on that do not forgive list.
I actually think his actions were slightly worse than what Lockhart did. ? Is that a controversial take? But I think when you nearly kill someone,
yeah,
I'm not going to forgive that.
That's like a bridge too far.
That's like we ain't going to be friends.
If you got that in your heart, then no bueno. No bueno.
I think, now that I'm thinking about it, they're totally going to bring him back as, like, one of the witnesses and be like, oh, look, he saved the trial day, blah, blah, blah.
No. Oh, gosh.
This is just us spiraling after reading the description. Let's move on with the day.
Yes. Okay, so, kids, that is all from us this week. We will be back discussing episode 3 next week. But in the meantime, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram for updates. We are In the Books Network. You can also email us if you want to be read out in our Postcards feature. Then please email us at inthebooksnetwork@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed this podcast, please share it with your friends and give us a rating and review. It really helps us out. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.